is INCRadio DCEM 954, the voice of truth, the official radio station of the Church of Christ or Iglesia ni Cristo.
Hello.
Hola.
Bonjour.
Konnichiwa.
Ni hao. Ciao.
Annyeonghaseyo.
Mabuhay.
Welcome to Washington State.
Explore the sights. Discover new things.
Appreciate the arts, music, and food.
Travel to new places.
Meet the people.
Make new friends.
In other words, come home with us.
Come home with us.
This is INCRadio Seattle, Washington. All right. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all members and listeners around the world. We thank you for joining us for yet another edition of INCRadio Seattle, Washington. And as you can see, it's a very special edition that we have here today. We are live and in person straight here from the local congregation of Seattle, Washington. I'm your host for today, Brother Marlon Taduran from the local congregation of Tacoma. And how does everyone feel about that being live? That's how you know it is live when we have an audience, and it is amazing and so much fun to be here. And not only that, we have a very exciting topic to share with all of you today. Our topic for today's show is comfort food. So last week we're talking about bodybuilding, and now we're talking about our favorite comfort food. So perfect transition to our topic for today. We're joined by some of our guests that we'll introduce later on in the program. But before that, we just want to give you a little reminder that there are several ways that we can all tune into the program. One of those ways is through our YouTube channel. While you're there, in the search bar, type in INCRadio DZEM 954. And while you're there, don't forget to subscribe. You can also tune in at incradio.org. So what are you waiting for? Invite your friends and loved ones so they can join us on all the fun that we have here at INC Radio, Seattle, Washington. All right. We also have our ongoing hashtag challenge. When you comment in the chat, be sure to leave a hashtag with your local congregation in the chat. The winning congregation will be the one with the most hashtags in the chat. So do your best. It gets pretty fierce in that chat room. So make sure that you leave your hashtag so that you can be the winning congregation in our hashtag challenge. And speaking of winners, we want to announce our winners for last week. So without further ado, coming in at number 3. Sister Mia, can you give us a drum roll, please? Right. We have the local congregation of Kent. Congratulations, Sister. Sister Mia, what do you think about the local congregation of Kent?
Yay!
That's what we want to hear. All right. Okay, coming in at number 2. We have another drink. Okay. Number 2 is Marysville and the local congregation of Seattle. It's a tie. Oh my goodness. That's exciting. And at number 1, this is the big one. Yes. We have the local congregation of Shoreline. All right. Yay. So good luck to everyone. Congratulations to last week's winners. If you want to participate, be sure to leave your hashtags in the chat. And make sure when you do comment that on the actual YouTube link, it contains INC Radio Seattle, Washington in the title and not INC Radio live stream. So be sure that you're in the right place so that those hashtags count. All right, now we're going to take this opportunity to introduce to you our guest that will be joining us on today's discussion about comfort food. To my right, sister, if you could tell us your name, what local you're from, and if you have any shout outs, this is your opportunity to do so.
Hi, I'm Sister Mia, and I'm from the locality Tacoma, and my shout outs go out to my family and my mom, Sister Michelle.
Yay! Thank you, Sister Mia, for joining us. All right, sister, to the left, if you could, your name, congregation, and any shout outs.
My name is Sister Tyra from the local congregation of Seattle. Shout outs to my family, my husband, and the district of Zambales South.
All right, yay! All right, and we have our brother Andrew here, our correspondent. You'll be having a segment later, but if you want to, you can introduce yourself too, brother Andrew. I didn't want to leave you out since you're sitting up here with us here at the table.
Thank you, Brother Marlon. So my name is Brother Andrew Santa Monica from the local congregation of Seattle. Nice to meet you if you're tuning in. And I'll be doing a correspondent later on. And shout out to my uncle, our Ka J. Amogus here in the District of Washington State.
All right, yay! Okay, I'm very excited. We have a very delicious portion coming up later on in our program, so please stay tuned in. But we're going to take a short break, and before we do, we have this question for our YouTube listeners. If you can in the chat, this question is for all of you. Please leave your responses. What is your favorite comfort food to eat or make during the winter season? So, ooh, we got specific with you on that one. So, winter comfort favorite foods and why. So please leave your responses in the chat and we will try to read those responses later on in the program. But without further ado, we'll take a short break and we'll be right back after this.
You are listening to Iglesia ni Cristo Radio, the voice of truth.
Can you recall a hilarious experience while commuting? Did you witness a memorable event while traveling on a public transport? Do you have transpo stories that will make you chuckle or get you teary-eyed? Please tune in this Sunday, January 28th at 4 p.m. Philippine Standard Time or 5 p.m. Korean Standard Time as we reminisce our one-of-a-kind transportation and commuter stories. Laugh and have fun with us. See you then!
Whether it's something in your personal life or your career, leveling up always gives you a chance to grow. This Sunday, January 28th, tune in to INCRadio Hong Kong Satellite Studio as we talk about the importance of leveling up. Join us from 11 a.m. to 12 noon, Philippine Standard Time. Don't miss it!
All right, and welcome back to the program. This is INT Radio Seattle, Washington, live edition, right? All right. We are live in the local congregation of Seattle, Washington, and we are here for a very special topic of discussion today, which is, what is it? Comfort food. That's right. So yes, we're all very excited to talk about this, and we are still waiting for our responses in the chat. Oh, wow, we have some already. Wow, people are very excited about this topic. Let's go ahead and read some of those. We have one from our brother Lawrence Manalo. He says, Pancit Canton with boiled egg po. Hashtag Kent. All right, yes. My wife likes Pancit Canton very much. She makes a really good one. That's a part of her comfort food. Also, we have one from Sister Diane Laredo. She says, my favorite winter comfort food is sopas. Made by my dad with love. Ah, that's the secret ingredient right there, love. And I think we have some sopas right here. So everyone up here, feel free to dig in, uh, partake in some of the food that we have here. And while we do that, we'll be reading other responses, but I also want to hear from our guests that are joining us here today. So we'll go ahead and go to our first question. Let's start with Sister Mia. What is your go-to comfort food during the winter season and why?
My auntie blessings adobo because it tastes really good.
What makes it taste really good, Sister Mia?
It melts in your mouth and
Oh,
like it just tastes good. I can't
oh,
explain it. Too many words.
you had me at melts in your mouth. That sounds amazing. You can never go wrong with adobo, especially in the winter. That's a very comforting and warming food. Sister Tyra, how about you? What is your go-to comfort food during the winter? And
Tonkatsu ramen.
oh,
But it has to have a side of crispy California rolls.
oh, okay.
Now,
Wow.
why tonkatsu ramen? Because of the complex flavors. The way that they let that seep for 12 to 16 hours, and then when you take that initial sip and how hot and warm it makes you feel like a hug.
Ooh.
Perfect.
Wow, it's like a science of how you approach each food and how you attack it to get that full experience of flavor, of maximum comfort from your food. Yeah. We have a few other responses. Oh, this one's nice. Sister Joy Rufino, she also says ramen. So another ramen fan there. We have a response from Sister Marinella Ligsai. She says arroz caldo, perfect winter comfort food. Arroz caldo lugaw, hashtag Seattle. So wow. We have a response from Sister Jovi Villacrucis. Comfort food is Filipino soup called sotangon.
Sotanghon.
Sotanghon. I'm very sorry. I may look very Filipino, but I don't speak Tagalog, unfortunately. So I'm glad that we have members in the audience that can help with my pronunciation. Thank you so much. And that's coming from hashtag Olympia. We also have a response from Sister Donna Lopez. Oh, another Arescaldo and Champorado. Ooh. I do like the chocolate champorado, but have any of you ever had ube champorado? Oh, oh, it's delicious. I see some hands in the audience. Some have. Yes, my mom makes that. So if you want to say nice things to my mother and have her make you some ube champorado, I'm sure she would be more than happy to. Uh, Brother Andrew, how about you? What is your favorite go-to comfort food in the winter?
Oh, I would look for some good katsu curry if I had the chance.
Oh,
Yes, I would also love. Yeah, katsu is so it has. I find it really great. It's breaded, and same with the champurrado. If I can find some clam chowder somewhere, that'd be really
oh,
nice and comforting.
that's really good. Yeah, we have a lot of soups, a lot of porridges. I have a strange one for a comfort food, especially in the winter. I don't know what it is, but I tend to like really cold things. So like a slushy. I will go for a slushy in the winter or even ice cream. I don't know why. I tend to eat more ice cream in the winter compared to the summer.
I personally, 365 days of the year, milk tea.
Oh.
No matter what, milk tea.
Can't go wrong with milk tea. How about you, Sister Mia? Uh, they were pointing at you earlier when I was talking about ice cream.
I like eating ice cream during the winter. I don't know, but it just tastes better.
I think it's because it's safer. If you're eating it outside, it doesn't melt as fast, so you don't have a mess all over your hand, and you can enjoy it for much longer at a
And
slower pace.
minus brain freeze.
Oh yes, brain freeze is very painful, and it can take away from the whole purpose of comfort food. If you're not in comfort while you have a brain freeze. Okay, our next question. Oh, we have one response here also. This is from Sister Narcisa Domingo. She says, lumpiang prito with good spicy vinegar. Hashtag Des Moines. I'm very sorry. Hopefully, you are finding comfort in the way that I pronounce these things. But that does sound delicious. We have a response from Sister Annabelle Fernandez. She says Korean barbecue. Oh, I love Korean barbecue. Or Taiwanese hot pot at home. Oh, yes. I actually had hot pot at home not too long. Sister Maya, you were with me, right? Yeah, that was so much fun. It's
especially
a
especially surrounded by loved ones.
yes. It goes in conjunction with that response earlier. They had one of their favorite comfort foods made with love. Sometimes just being around people you love is just as good as well. We have one from Sister Sherelle. She says, I can see her thinking so hard. For my favorite comfort food, I really like spicy tuna and rice. It's so very good. All right. Sister Mia can confirm. Do you confirm, Sister Mia?
Yes, po.
All right. Spicy tuna. Hashtag Tacoma. All right. Let's go to the next question. We'll start with Sister Tyra. Do you prefer to cook or eat out?
Cook.
And what kind of dishes do you like to cook?
So it depends on what I'm doing. If I'm normally with my family, their comfort food, I make a really good creamy grilled chicken sisig.
Oh,
So I like to cook because it's a love language for me. It shows how I care. It shows that this is my way of expressing myself to my loved ones, and in that in itself provides me comfort. So cooking
mm.
can also be an act of comfort.
Oh, I love that response. And yes, that is a beautiful, beautiful love language. You can feel it in every bite, every flavor, savoring the delicacy that's being put before you and made by someone with complete love. So, wow, that's awesome. How about you, Sister Mia? Are you a cook or do you like to eat out?
Um,
It's okay, you can tell the truth.
eat out.
Eat out? Okay. And when you go eat out, what type of food are your go-tos?
Chicken nuggets.
Chicken nuggets. Not just any type of chicken, but in nugget form. Okay. Awesome. How about you, Brother Andrew? Are you a cook or do you prefer to eat out?
I would want to be a cook later in life because I know that what Sister Tyra said about having it as a love language, it reminds me of another love language such as acts of service because you would do some. It's the act of serving someone, actually, literally serving someone food that makes it all the more very, very loving. So it
Yes.
just makes me think about that. Even if it might be challenging for me to have the time to cook, I I prefer to cook later, but right now I prefer to go eat, maybe learn and compare and see, oh, maybe when eating out, I can find the food that I can probably make at home or some equivalent.
That's great. So this would be your research period
There you go.
before making the transition to becoming a cook. For me, my cooking skills are quite limited. I almost messed up the rice yesterday, but it's still edible. My wife said it was hard, but it softened during time. We just let it cook a little bit more, but I could do better. But usually our agreement is that she does the cooking and I do all of the cleaning, and I am very, very happy to do that. So, um, all right. So we are surrounded by an amazing array of foods that were brought to us by different brethren around the district. We have sopas in these cups. You can't really see it, but it's delicious, especially in the winter. We have some adobo here. This is Sister Blessing's adobo. So this is one of yes, the melt in your mouth adobo. What is this one called?
Maja Blanca.
Maja Blanca. So what is that?
Essentially like a coconut gelatin with corn in it, sweet corn.
Wow,
It's
wow.
my favorite.
That sounds really good. And oh, this delicacy right here, very exotic. Sister Mia, what is on that platter right there?
Cheese pizza.
Cheese, a pizza. All right, so that sounds delicious. So we hope that you enjoyed our segment here today. This is even just even it's fun to have the food, but it's much more fun, I think, just being surrounded by people we care about, people that we love, and that's what makes the food most comforting. You could be eating anything. It could be like a tiny morsel of food, and still it would be very meaningful to share it with people that mean so much to you in your life. But now we're going to go into action or CFO in action with our brother Andrew. So, brother Andrew, if you could, what's going on in the district?
Yes, so much for asking. And I'm sure that others are as curious as our brother Marlon here. So for your information, for our past activity, we had our Worldwide Evangelical Mission or EVM. This was held in different local congregations here in Washington State and around the world inside the Church of Christ. For future activities, so next week we have our district baptism. So just be prepared to support that activity. And also on February 2nd, the Kadiwa, they have their formal at Rose Hill Community Center at Mukilteo, Everett, or Mukilteo, which is near Everett at 7 p.m. And on February 3rd, the Seattle and Kent region will have their INC giving activity. We'll be able to help support Northwest Harvest, and we're not sponsoring that. But for February 4, February 11, and February 18, we will have a CBI or Christian Brotherhood International math, literary, and music competition. So math will be on the 4th, literary or ELA or language arts will be on the 11th, and on the 18th, that will be music here in Seattle.
Ah, that sounds exciting. It's a competition?
Oh yeah, let me show you. Okay, so for the math will be in Tacoma at 5 p.m. And then for literary arts, that's in Shoreline. And again, for music, it's in Seattle. So just stay updated for those activities. Reach out to those in the Christian Brotherhood International. And for our local EVMs, if you go outside of the Christian Family Organization, we have our local EVMs. For Everett, it's Mondays and Fridays at 7:30 p.m. For Seattle, it's going to be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7 p.m. So just stay tuned and continue to support our activities.
All right. Thank you so much, Brother Andrew. That sounds very exciting. So much action happening in the District of Washington State. So don't blink. You're going to miss all the action, all the activities. You need to keep those eyes open and looking forward so that you can keep up with all the fun and excitement that we have here in the District of Washington. Speaking about excitement, there's still excitement in our chat right now. They are still giving the responses for their favorite comfort foods. I can tell that this topic is very near and dear to everyone's heart. So we have one response here from Brother Sammy Gamiao. Gamiao. Thank you. This is so awesome to have people around me to give me the correct pronunciation. But Brother Sammy says he enjoys shabu shabu. Hashtag Maysville. Pandesal dip on coffee too. So both require hot liquids and dipping into those liquids that are hot. But those sound very comforting to have during the winter. All right, thank you, Brother Sammy. We have one from Sister Gabby, Cici. Sese, all right. She says loves to eat sinigang or Korean spicy tofu soup. Nothing beats hot soup on a cold winter day. That I would have to agree with that. Oh, sinigang is amazing. That's the electronic way to say it. We have one from Sister Michelle Ruiz. She says, "Happy birthday, Sister Mia. Love Mommy, Daddy Sherelle, and Chan Chan." That's you. She says, all the way from hashtag Tacoma, let's eat afterwards and celebrate. Where do you want to celebrate? And don't name any establishment, but what type of food would you like?
Ice cream.
Ice cream. All right. So, yes, happy birthday, Sister Mia. But with that said, we are already at the end of our program for today. And before we go, we have a cliffhanger question for all of our listeners that have tuned in today, and we want to ask you, have you ever moved to a new place? And if so, what was the experience like? So we want to hear about your moving experiences. And if you want to give us your input, join us next week on our program. But with that said, we want to give a special thanks to our brother Eduardo Manalo, our executive minister, brother Angelo Manalo, our SEPSI president and CFO coordinator, brother Arnel Solano, our station manager, brother Ramil Regino, our district minister, Brother Relly Rivera, our Assistant District Minister, Brother Chris Valdez, our CFO Overseer, Brother Manly Andaya, our Executive Producer, the listeners, thank you so much for listening today. And from the also the INT Radio Tech Crew, thank you so much for supporting us in our program and supporting all of us here at INT Radio Seattle. So with that said, from INT Radio Seattle, Washington, we will see you later.